Again, YouTube, this is the Truth Man, pumping out these videos in this video factory of a channel called the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Now, on this video, I want to talk about marriage and married couples. So, if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say that 98% of all marriages are having problems. They're having problems, and the ones where the people will divorce are headed towards divorce. Some people ain't gonna divorce. They'll just cheat. They'll just argue. They'll just fight. They'll just sleep in different rooms, build man caves, and all this other stuff. But most marriages are having problems. Especially, I call it the number one excuse for divorce, because it's not a reason. When you have financial problems, that's not a reason for divorce. That's an excuse, because you could work through that. Like, unless you got somebody that's just refusing to work, you could work through that. Now, in some cases, you have women making more money than men. In those cases, a lot of times it ends up in infidelity, with her cheating with a guy that she sees in public if she has her own business, or that she meets at work. Because these guys are real crafty at putting notions in your head about your husband. And it's real simpy and it's real wimpy and weak for a guy to be even approaching another man's wife. I mean, you gotta be desperate or dealing with some type of mental illness, sociopathy, or psychopath, something wrong with you. Because you could jag off. You could get out here and say, man, I'm gonna stay out here. I'm finna meet these 304s. But you instead choose to deal with another man's wife. So whatever happened to you, you deserved it. That's just all it is to it. But these guys will literally be texting your wife, emailing your wife, calling your wife, and they'll keep the secret. I ain't gonna mess up. I know you want your kids to be with their daddy. Dude, you would be better off exposing them. That stuff come back on you too, man. I'm telling you. When you the type that will keep somebody else's secret, and now she going, ain't nothing good enough for her. This dude don't know that she messing with you, so ain't nothing good enough for her. He trying to please her. That's why I say, do not try to please these women. That's not what the Bible says. They supposed to please you, and you return the favor after they do. Like it's all right to look out for your wife and to protect your wife and provide for your wife and to be the man you supposed to be, unless she ain't been the woman she's supposed to be. Then you should divorce her. And you can't always run and divorce. Y'all hear me talking about that. Everybody's situation is different. You know, it'll be like jumping into a swamp with 10 alligators sticking their head out with their mouth open. If you just run and divorce your wife without researching it, without knowing, without trying to negotiate with her first. She got another man, let him have her. Don't fight him. When you find out about him, you supposed to 100% divorce her. But in some cases, you have to negotiate. You be like, okay, so you already showed me that you want somebody else, but we got this. What we gonna do about this? Negotiate. If she ain't willing to negotiate in a way that ain't gonna destroy your life, then you just leave and you just get you another wife. That's how it is. You can have multiple wives. She's in adultery. So no matter, she can go to church, cry, go to the altar 96 times, trying to repent. Ain't none of it gonna matter. The Most High gonna turn his face. Because she basically ruined her relationship and she went against the standards that he set up for marriage. The reason why marriage favors men in the Bible, because the Most High know that men will have the most to do in the marriage and the most to lose in the marriage in most cases. So you don't negotiate trying to stay in a relationship though. Like if she cheats, your relationship is done and you asking for trouble if you trying to stay in it. You are. Like even emotional affairs, it's like it's real risky with those. Because the very fact that she had one showed that she wasn't all off and all into you. But guys be on Facebook. A lot of guys are taught to just not talk to nobody. Yeah, people will put your business out there. They will. That's why you have to know, if you say anything, you have to know who to talk to. But just hiding everything and trying to act like everything is cool. You and your wife went out to eat. Y'all ain't talked in a week and you taking pictures on Facebook. You fake, man. You're phony. And you're not helping other men. Because think of how many other men be like, man, I thought I was the only one. You're not. You don't even have to cheat on your wife for your marriage to fail. I know that's what he cheated. When he cheat? When we was boyfriend and girlfriend? That don't count. Because you ain't have to stay with him or marry him. These girls be practically getting prolapsed by other dudes. And then they'll come back with that old twisted out of place stuff and then try to blame him. These women that cheat, I hope they get a horseman, and he just, where they can't hide it. You can take all the hot water baths you want. Some of these dudes gonna knock your stuff out of socket. That's just all it is to it. And it's good for you, because you shouldn't have been cheating. But guys need to stop thinking you're the only one. And that's why I don't do this too often. But I'm going to give credit where credit is due. It's guys on YouTube, like Coach Greg Adams, that, yeah, sometimes they say things you don't like. And you ain't going to agree with everything. But these guys deserve, like him, not all of them, but like him, they deserve everything, every positive thing they get from being on here telling their story. And I'm going to tell you why. Because guys do not be keeping it real. They just don't. Like, they want you to believe that they just balls deep and doing everything right in their relationship. But you can do everything right, and your relationship still is doomed to fail. Because we live in the United States. People is getting poisoned just merely by turning the radio or the TV on. So, when I hear about a dude having problems in his marriage and stuff, I'm like, well, that's common. These women, when they get old, it ain't that they can't have sex no more. It ain't that they can't do the things they do no more. They just try to rely on other things like manipulation. Like trying to control a man. Like they revert, it's like a lot of women revert back to childhood. They'll revert back to childhood and now you just, why my jaw be looking like that in the sun? But this is what they do. They isolate you. Like most guys, they not cool with they friends no more. They gone. Friends gone. Friends gone. They got married, had kids and stuff. Now most friends barely come around. They sometimes get isolated from their family. So the family is gone. It's just you and her. It's you and her. And so when y'all have problems, what women tend to do is blame everything on you. They'll say, well, I know I'm not perfect. You don't act like you know you're not perfect. And this is how you know. when they don't apologize, or if you say something to them like, I want you to tell me 5 things that you do wrong in the marriage. Go. 1, 2. They ain't gonna be able to say nothing. And here's why. A woman that can't show you her problems that she caused in the marriage is because she thinks that she's a gift to you. And it's also because she's entitled. See? And these type, marriage counseling ain't gonna help because they not gonna listen to them either. The only thing that's gonna help you when you got a woman who will not listen to you, will not submit to you, will not get on your program is to leave her alone. Because, okay, what's left? You getting on hers? Her running you? You ain't gonna get blessed having no woman telling you what to do. The Most High gonna be looking at you like, man, he a buster. Of course, he don't use that type of terminology, but that's how he be looking at you like, be a man. And I believe sometimes when guys be putting their wayward wives in their place, the Most High be smiling. I know them. You can't tell. Listen, I'm not your average person. I know how God thinks. You can't listen, man. I know you want to say that I'm just a regular old Joe. I'm not a prophet. I'm this, that. I know you want to say that out of your own cockiness, out of your own personal cockiness. That's what you want to say. But that ain't the case. When you have a guy that will not stand up to his wife, and then all of a sudden he does, the Most High like that. He like it. He be smiling. Because that's how he set it up. And a lot of times, the Most High be letting guys see a woman's true colors. Listen, you might as well not even come to me for marriage counseling. Because if you do if I do marriage counseling, everybody's gonna go home upset. Unless it's a person that rarely is the problem. So these women, like when I start my church again, I'm telling you right now, it's not in your best interest. It's not. It's not. See, guys, this is what we need to do. This is one thing. Some guys is broke because they not spending enough time working on their craft and working. Whether it's business, whether it's side hustle. Oh, you don't spend no time with me and the kids. These women is weird. They think you can be in their face all day spending money, but still get rich. Everybody's saying they're gonna win Powerball, but only one person at a time in most draws where there's a winner wins. Sometimes it'll be a couple people, but it's usually only one at a time. That ain't no plan. You say, well, I'm a manifester. I hope so. But what if you don't? Then what? See, this is why we gotta reach the young women and the young men. We gotta get these young women to realize what it means to be a wife. And if you don't want to be this here, then you shouldn't be nobody's wife. We should be putting these family courts out of business. They should be in the negative. But we don't. And guys, from a young age, do not try to validate yourself with women. Do not try to validate yourself to women. It's all right to be selfish. You ain't married. Your girlfriend should not be first. And she should not be living with you. She shouldn't. Make her prove herself. Make her prove that she should be your wife. And part of that proof is a prenup. Another part of that proof is ain't gonna be no marriage license. Now, you still want to be my wife? No.